Hey guys, today's video I am going to be sharing 5 books with you. If this is something you guys enjoy, I'll share some more. So I'm going to go through each book and I'm going to read you the synopsis of the book so that you can understand what it's about. I'm not going to go into detail what it's about otherwise so that I don't spoil it for anybody. And please leave down below your book suggestions. So the first one here is Obedience. This is by Will Lavender. So when students in Winchester University's Logic and Reasoning 204 arrive for their first day of class, they are greeted with not with a syllabus or text, but with a startling assignment from Professor Williams. Finding a hypothetical missing girl named Polly. If after being given a series of clues and details the class has not found her before the end of term in 6 weeks, she will be murdered. At first, the students are as intrigued by the premise of their puzzle as they are wary of the strange and slightly creepy Professor Williams. But as they delve deeper into the mystery, they begin to wonder, is the Polly story simply a logic exercise designed to teach them rational thinking skills, or could it be something more sinister and dangerous? The mystery soon takes over the lives of 3 students as they find disturbing connections between Polly and themselves. Characters that are supposedly fictitious begin to emerge in reality. Soon the boundary between the classroom assignment and the real world becomes blurred, and the students wonder if it is their own lives they are being asked to save. So this book was amazing, and all the way right to the end, it had you on the edge of your seat, and the ending was epic. So I highly recommend this. So next, my book is 19 Minutes. This is by Jodi Picoult. A lot of her books are ones where there's twists and turns and it's at the end that you're kind of left shocked. So, Sterling is an ordinary New Hampshire town where nothing ever happens until the day its complacency is shattered by an act of violence. Josie Cormer, the daughter of the judge sitting on the case, should be the state's best witness, but she can't remember what happened before her very own eyes, or can she? As the trial progresses, fault lines between the high school and the adult community begin to show, destroying the closest of friendships and families. 19 Minutes asks what it means to be in our society, who has the right to judge someone else, and whether anyone is ever really who they seem to be. So I highly recommend this book. There's a bunch of her books that I find really awesome, so if you guys enjoy this, I can go through some of her other ones. Okay, so our next book is Gerald's Game by Stephen King. On a warm weekday in October, in the lovely summer home of Gerald and Jessie, a game is about to begin. It's a game to be played between husband and wife, a game that has Jessie being innocently handcuffed to the bedposts. Then in one horrible violent act, Gerald is dead and Jessie, well, she's alone and still chained to the bed. But Jessie's about to have company that goes beyond all of her worst nightmares. This book was actually just made into a little Netflix movie. The movie's nowhere near as good as the book, but this is great. It's really creepy. So you have to be into scary, creepy books to enjoy this one. So the next book is Broken by Daniel Clay. Skunk Cunningham has a loving dad, an absent mother, and a brother who plays more Xbox than is good for him. She has a crush on her teacher, Mr. Jeffries, and fond feelings for Mrs. Buckley, who lives across the street and always has time for Skunk's questions. But Skunk also has the neighbors from hell. The 5 Oswald girls and their thuggish dad, Bob, are vicious bullies whose reign of terror extends unchallenged over the otherwise quiet suburban square. And yet, terrifying though they are, the cider-swilling, dope-smoking Oswald girls are also sexy. So when Saskia asks shy Rick Buckley for a ride in his new car, he can't believe his luck. But after a quick fumble, Saskia broadcasts Rick's deficiencies to anyone who will listen. This act of thoughtful cruelty will lead to Rick being dragged off by the police, humiliated and broken, and in a tragic chain of events will leave Skunk hanging on to her young life by a thread. From her hospital bed, Skunk tries to make sense of the events that follow, as her hapless father finds love while her adored teacher loses it. As broken, Buckley spirals into madness, and the Oswald clan comes apart at the seams. As we inch even closer to the mystery behind her coma, Skunk's innocence becomes a beacon by which we navigate a world as comic as it is tragic, and as effortlessly engaging as it is ultimately uplifting. So if you are into the book To Kill a Mockingbird, this has a lot of vibes, kind of feel from that book. Really good book. Obviously this is for a more mature audience. Okay guys, so our last book here is Dean Koontz' Intensity. This is the first scary book that I read that actually scared me, gave me some creepy dreams. So past midnight, China Shepherd 26 gazes out a moonlit window, unable to sleep on her first night in the Napa Valley home of her best friend's family. Instinct proves reliable. A murderous sociopath, Edgar Foreman Vess, has entered the house, intent on killing everyone inside. A self-proclaimed homicidal adventurer, Vess lives only to satisfy all appetites as they arise, to immerse himself in sensation, to live without fear, remorse, or limits, to live with intensity. China is trapped in his deadly orbit. China is a survivor, toughened by a lifelong struggle for safety and self-respect. Now she will be tested as never before. At first, her sole aim is to get out alive, until by chance she learns the identity of Vess's next intended victim, a faraway innocent only she can save. Driven by a newly discovered thirst for meaning beyond mere self-preservation, China musters every inner resource she has to save an endangered girl, as moment by moment, the terrifying threat of Edgar Foreman Vess intensifies. So this is just an amazing book. Again, obviously a more mature audience, and is a creepy book. So leave yours below of what books you highly recommend, maybe just a brief description of what it's about. And if you want to see more books that I enjoy, leave a comment below. Bye guys!